Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to Noah's Ark. So I had an amazing opportunity to talk to a New York City icon, Miss Guy himself. So the interview was incredible and we actually had so much amazing information, stories told, laughs shared, that we decided to break this interview up into two parts. So you guys get ready. Here is part one of Noah's Ark with Miss Guy. I grew up as a teen in a really small town in Maine, and I remember following you in a group of friends that you had in the 90s. There was you, there was Theo Kogan from the Lunatics, there was Jojo Americo, there was all these other people that really were the epitome of downtown amazing New York style. Now, you're not a nasty person, even though I like to tell everyone that you are. No, I'm kidding. But did any of your friends at that time ever reach out to people and say, hey, like, I just wore that at this place, or, you know, I got no credit?
No, I don't think so. I mean, Marilyn Manson ripped off a few people. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say any names.
You can say whatever you want. Well, I love it. Marilyn Manson, yes.
You know, I like, he's great. I'm a fan. But he used to come to Squeezebox quite a bit. And he performed on stage at Squeezebox in the early days, and everybody did. But he apparently borrowed some ideas from a few people, and I think one or two of them may have spoke up.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
But you know, I mean, that's been happening since the beginning of time. If you want to speak out about it, you should. Exactly.
That's a message for everyone at home if you want to speak out about it. If you see something, say something on the subway. Yes. Which is, I never do. I just have my headphones on. So something that you just mentioned, which I feel like some of our viewers may not know about, is Squeezebox. And Squeezebox was a legendary moment in New York history that you helped create.
We started it just out of the desperate need for a fun night where we could go hear music that we all liked. Because back then the clubs were very segregated. You know, gay clubs were strictly, for the most part, gay, and you heard a certain type of music that none of us were really that into. And then the rock clubs, which I frequented, were more heterosexual, and because I had a lot of friends in that scene, but I also enjoyed that music.
Right.
So we wanted something to kind of combine the two. And then we started Squeezebox, and we had no idea what was going to happen, and it sort of got off to a slow start the first couple of months. We started in the spring of '94, and then by that summer, it was off the hook, and it always had a magical energy in the room, even in the beginning when it was kind of like slow or just, chugging along. But then that September of '94, JoJo and I went to Seattle to perform, and this was pre-internet, pre-social media.
Exactly.
And so the only, maybe Paper Magazine had written about us, and so we went out there to perform, and we met these kids who were like, oh, you have to come to our club, it's our version of Squeezebox. And I remember calling Michael Schmidt and being like, people in Seattle know about Squeezebox, like how could that even be,
That's so literally from word of mouth, not Twitter.
Right. Yeah, it was exciting. That's where I started my band, the Toilet Boys, and Don Hill was always such a nice, generous, loving man, and would really give us time to sort of create something, whereas today people just want to sort of make it happen quick, and if it doesn't, they want to chop it.
When was the moment where the celebrities started to come? Because this became really a place where celebrities would go to perform, to get ideas about music, to get ideas about fashion. What was that moment like?
It was exciting. I mean, Debbie Harry was coming pretty much from the very beginning. So she was probably the first real star that was coming there. And then quickly, within a year, we had everybody: Mick Jagger, John F. Kennedy Jr., Tura Satana from Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, Verushka, the 60s gorgeous.
Yes.
Goldie Hawn.
Courtney Love.
Courtney Love came a lot. It's endless, really. It's just, and then of course Stephen Meisel and Naomi Campbell and
right.
Anna Sui and Marc Jacobs and all the fashion, crowd were hanging out there. John Waters, of course, he was one of the first real stars to support us and hang out there. He was there almost every week. There was no special spot for the stars to hang out, so they just had to hang out with all the freaks and drag queens and rockers and photographers and downtown people that were there, and it was really exciting. And I think the reason they liked it and felt comfortable is because there was no not everybody had a camera.
Exactly. So it was a safe place for them to go.
Yeah, I mean, and there was a lot of shenanigans happening.
And it's kind of what people forget about, where in mainstream popular culture, in fashion, it doesn't just come out of the sky. It's really, so much of the time, it's pulled from downtown New York culture.
Yeah.
And what you guys did, by the fact that all of these designers and stylists were coming there, they were going there to enjoy themselves, but they were also there to get ideas.
Yeah.
And that's what you provided for them.